Hello my lovelies, welcome to Kieron's Kitchen. Today we're going to be making cheese Gougères. Don't worry, they're basically a savoury chocolate eclair. So if you've made eclair dough before, choux pastry, we're going to be making it with cheese instead of chocolate. They'll end up looking like this, like a profiterole. They're going to be delicious. Let's get started. So into our pan we're going to add our water and our Worcestershire sauce. And we're going to put our butter in there. So we've got salted butter in here, unsalted would be fine. We're just going to add a little more seasoning if we go that direction. And then we're going to bring this up to a simmer. So we've got the water, Worcestershire sauce and butter all up to a simmer. We're going to add our Cornman's yellow mustard. If you don't have this, a little spoonful of Dijon mustard or any kind of mustard would be great. We're going to add our turmeric. It's going to be really good for your health, but it's also going to add that bright orange colour. And then we're going to bring that to a simmer as well. And then once it's simmering again, we're going to add our all-purpose flour. And we're going to add that all at once and work really quickly with the spatula. So at this stage, when you're stirring, you want to make sure you're working out all of the flour. So you want to beat it with your spatula. We also call these marices in kitchens. We want to beat out so you can't see any flour molecules and it's pulling away from the inside of the pan. Alright, so we've taken this off the stove, but we've beaten in all that all-purpose flour. All those flour molecules have exploded, sucking in all those juices, so the Worcestershire sauce, no spices in there. And we've got this very firm dough that's pulled away from the sides of the pot. At this stage, we're going to transfer it into a bowl. And then we're going to add our 2 eggs. We want to add them gradually, so we're going to crack one. And then going to work it in. So we're going to place 1 egg in, crack the yolk, and then gently cut the dough while also mixing at the same time. And we want to get this 1 egg fully incorporated before we go back and add the second one. So you might see at this stage, it looks like it's nearly together. We want to go a moment longer so it's fully incorporated, so the dough completely comes back together. You can see that last couple of seconds makes all the difference, and it's back to a full dough. We'll crack our second egg. Pop that guy in. And the same thing's going to apply. We're going to cut it in a little bit while stirring, and just start working in the rest. So the dough's all the way incorporated with those eggs. At this stage, it's not that savoury. We've got a couple of spices in there. If we'd have done something different and put some sugar in here and not put the turmeric and mustard, put vanilla in it, you pretty much have choux pastry here. For us, this is the point where we're really embracing the savoury and I'm going to add cheese. So you might have noticed that we haven't put any salt in here right now. The cheese we're going to use today is Parmesan Reggiano, which means it's got a high salt content. If you pick something else like a cheddar, it's going to be totally fine. It's just you're going to want to add a good pinch of salt. It also might mean you want to add a little bit more flour. So for us, this has a very low liquid fat content, whereas cheddar cheese has a high liquid fat content when it bakes, and so it'll be a little runnier for us. So we're going to put that all in and fold it in. And again, just gentle folds into the cheese to incorporate it. This last step is going to be whether we want to add herbs. So for us, I really love oregano. We usually go to our house because we make a lot of pizza sauces. We regularly have that 2 or 3 times in a week sometimes. And so I've got fresh oregano regularly in my house. But if you didn't have this, some thyme, some rosemary, some dried herbs would be totally fine. You can see just a really good healthy pinch going in here for us. And then we just want to work in that dough fully. We're ready to bake. At this point, we want to get our cheese Gougères portioned out. If you know anything about me, I love my grams. And so for us, this is going to be about 25 grams. If not, you can use 2 teaspoons if you don't have a scale. And it's going to be a healthy teaspoon we're going to place on there. And that's going to go a little bit of even space. If you can see the finished product that we've got, they're going to puff out a little bit, but not too much. So you don't need too much space between them. You'll also note that we're baking in a small batch again. This is so we don't eat them all in our house too quickly. So we're only going to bake probably about half of these, somewhere between 6 or 7. So these will end up in a 400-degree oven for 5 minutes. After the 5 minutes, we're going to lower the temperature down to 350 for about 20 minutes, and they come out pretty perfect. For us, we're using a silicone mat. If you don't have that, a piece of grease-proof paper or a really well buttered and floured sheet tray would be perfect. So let's get these cooking. Okay, so it's been the full 25 minutes. We're going to whip them out of the oven. Close this guy up. So there you go. You've got cheese Gougères. They're going to be hot. You're going to want them to cool down for a minute. I've got some kitchen hands, so just a little toasty warm. You can see that nice cheese caramelization on the bottom of them. We're going to slip them back onto the tray, let them wait for those 5 minutes. We'd love to see what you're doing at home, so if you want to link to us with a hashtag of Kieron's Kitchen, we'd love to see your pictures of your Gougères as well. They are perfect with a little glass of beer if you would like one. Enjoy.